Do it again, Jake. Jake, come out here and show them what you got here. Dude, exactly. Nailed it. I'm Rich.
I'm Frank.
And it's People, Pines, and Possibilities.
Yeah.
A little bit more of an aggressive episode. Jake's going to grab me a beer. We're hot on the mics. I'm the Vibe Titan in the house. We got my boy here who's trying to do some adjustments.
The dabbler just dabbling on my chair.
Hey, and we got our only, right? We have our only follower, subscriber.
Dude, it only takes one to count, right?
Dude, yeah, it only takes one important one to get the job done.
The only guy that sits in the cab of a tractor and videos himself listening to us.
Robbie Boneso. You're pissed.
It's tractor, right?
Hey. You guys, I send you videos personally, and then you come and put them back on the pod on your Instagram reels.
It's the Calcos community.
I just told Rich that I might have to just start doing a podcast review every week for you guys.
I actually think that's a great idea.
People might not start listening to it because I'm fucking chiming in.
I would love to hear.
I actually would love to hear it. Because
we got
love
Robbie
the Velcro
Boneso
shoes
in the house. All right, welcome, buddy. What's your? Everyone needs a nickname. I'm the Vibe nickname. I'm the Vibe Titan.
No, wait, that's my nickname.
The
I'm the Vibe Titan.
You can't steal a nickname.
I didn't steal. You stole it from me.
This thing is already off to a bad start.
I feel like he is the Vibe Titan.
You see there.
This is so confusing.
What vibe are you looking for? If he's the Vibe Titan, what is the vibe?
Yeah. So, what are the possibilities?
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm the front dabbler.
Is it the wrestling?
Okay, my nickname's Shit Show. We'll just leave it at that.
Shit.
Wow.
Shit.
Wow.
All right.
We all agree on that.
Okay.
All right. Let's keep moving.
Listen, if you're out there, people, buckle up. Put the kids to bed. Do not put this on your television at work.
Nobody wants to see my fat ass anyway.
I promise you.
Fair.
You do not want to hear this at your workplace, and they don't want to hear it because Robbie's about to
I'm a
just
winner.
break free.
I identify as podcast.
All right.
They could play it now at work now.
Welcome, Robbie. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank
Just
you,
so you know, there's no notes on the whiteboard because this guy said,
nothing goes to plan here. So
yeah, and I
didn't focus very well at school. So if I got to look at a board and like follow instructions,
I have huge anxiety right now because I'm staring at a blank board.
Robbie went to Bearcat U.
Look in your face.
Frank's like, you went to Bearcat U.
You guys watch out, guys.
All right, Martha's coming in. That's the Panther.
The Panther, the boss.
She looks happy.
She scares me like my wife does.
Robbie, normally what we do, so we're just going off script right now. Tell us how the hell you figured out or met us at Calcos. How the hell did you walk into Calcos?
You really want to know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go. Sideways at $1.50.
So it's a small common denominator.
Cheers.
Of this little short, gray-haired, mustache, beard guy named Jeff Gallagher.
Oh.
Weird, huh?
If he's short, what am I?
The big cat.
So how that happened was...
The big cat.
Bringing people together.
You know how he does stuff and does work, and he did some some concrete saw cutting at the Cayucas house, which you've been to, Frank.
Beautiful house.
Never been
Cayucas
to
house.
Never been to your house. Never been to your house, but you've been to our
Because I live in a
van
right? down by the river.
Right? He's been to our house a lot, but I've never been to Frank's house. Weird.
Yeah, no, you name 3 things.
I can't. You could probably name a lot of stuff at our place.
All right.
Yeah.
That tells
Like
you
told
all
my
you
wife,
know.
slippers.
Like the stairs that you had a hard time going down one time in your life. But
Dude, fucking gravity.
All right, so you went over. All right, I'm going to try to keep this thing on track.
Yeah, you're going to wish there was words on there now.
Saw cut some concrete for my dad at the Cayucas house.
Yes.
So my dad went to square up on the bill for Gallagher. What'd Gallagher say? Dodger fan.
He said, whatever I was going to charge you plus 30%.
So at that time, my dad still had the condo right across the street from Giant Stadium, 88 King Street.
Oh, I didn't know this story.
Yeah, and we had 8 season tickets, so 6 of them on the bullpen side, 4 of them on the bullpen side, 4 of them in club, which is, they call it the Gotham Club. They got the little black card. You can get in all this special spot, bowling, alleys, arcades, full bar. Of course, Gallagher, doing his thing that he does. I want to go to Giants-Dodgers game on a weekend and trade.
Yeah.
And my dad goes, perfect. You got to take my son, though, because he's got all the, keys and the condo. Well, that's what happened. So we're trying to get rounded up, get there. Who ended up going was me, Brush, Gallagher and Steve Loya.
Wait, are you telling me the first time you met Gallagher?
No, I'm talking
No,
about the first
the
time I met
brewery.
you guys.
Oh, okay. I was
So
like,
we're
what?
getting everybody rounded up. It was midday, and you guys had just got this place. You were doing some stuff out here, some demo or something, and here's Gallagher. Hold on, we got to make it stop.
It sounds like
You know,
Gally.
we got to go by this place. This brewery. You got to meet my boys.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
He
what
had
are
the
you-
crew
what are
together,
you fucking
and he
talking
wanted to
about?
bring everyone.
What are you,
That's
what are you
Gally.
talking about? And he goes, oh, around the corner. I'm like, he's trying to explain. I'm like, Toesies? Like, what are you talking about? There's no brewery there. He's like, oh, no, we're working on it. Come on, we're going to go check it out. We're waiting for Loya, I think. We come in here, and there's
Loya,
this
good people, too.
bald-headed dude with Levi's and some cowboy boots and a big old smile, working his ass off. I think you guys were busting some stuff out in the back here.
That's what I typically do.
And
I think that's me.
Frank,
Oh.
Frank,
that's me.
You were here too. Oh, you were here, but
Your boy was working.
that's how we met. And I was like, dude, I don't know about these guys.
What,
and then
what
you
was
started
I doing?
talking.
Can you
And
make
what
it
did I
sound like I
say?
was a
What did
sack
I
of shit
say?
in the back?
Hey, you need a beer? That's how it started.
Let's
Did we
go.
have beer?
No, we
No.
didn't make it.
You didn't make it.
Oh, got you. I was like, shit.
That was the Coors Light makes it
Oh,
or
yeah,
something.
we did.
We had ice chest.
Yeah.
We kept that place in business for a while.
And right up there, Gallagher was telling us about you guys, and I got a good vibe right off the get-go. And that was the start.
Dude, and you're a hometown guy, so let's shoot the shit the way they fucking should be shot around here, because you're the guy that'll do it. Half the town wasn't sure about us at that time.
Well, like I was at first.
Yeah, no, because that's normal, right? So we'll talk about the trail. I hate when I say that, but the trail ride, you're a trail ride guy, like protect the history of Paso. We've heard a lot about the history. People in Paso, they got to fill you out first.
They do.
Can we back up just a
But
sec?
when they do and they fill you out and they like you, they got your back.
Yeah.
Are you
that's
born
true.
and raised here?
Not in Paso. I was
Okay.
raised Tascadero.
Central Coast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Been
Ugh.
family.
Man, you guys hate saying that.
Trash
And I did
Dude,
not.
why do people
What was
say
Steven
that?
like?
Why?
Templeton.
It's so funny.
God.
Okay, let me give you my breakdown, and then you can explain Atascadero. So Atascadero, Templeton, and Paso pretend like they hate each other, like they're like the brothers, right? They're like the Gallaghers. Ready? And the second that somebody from outside of this area says one thing about any of them, they join forces and just go North
Demolish 'em.
County on your ass.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds about right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All
back
right.
in high school,
So
it
when
was a rivalry at Tascadero.
You were a
and Paso.
Greyhound?
I was. Well, I came here about halfway through my freshman year.
Okay.
We were living in Tascadero. My grandpa was building his place, or already built his place out at the vineyard here off Mill Road next to Robert Hall.
Okay.
And my dad was building his house, and we were living in a mobile home.
Talking this microphone. so you can hear yourself.
From my grandparents own a mobile home park,
There you go. You got
the
it.
Camino del Robles and Atascadero. So we
Yep.
hauled one of these mobile homes out to the vineyard and remodeled it while my dad was building his house, which me and my dad did most of the work. After work, did everything ourselves.
Okay. So we're
So
setting
that's
the
how.
stage.
So that's how we ended up here, because we moved. My mom was like, "I am not driving you from all the way there to Atascadero." I'm like, "I don't. All my friends are in Atascadero. I don't want to go to Atascadero." My dad's like, "I don't care what you want to do." And let me tell you one thing, son. You have no problem making friends. You're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
Just
that's
tap me
true.
on the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad's a smart man.
No, I'm pumped for you. Yeah. And he's actually not wrong. You have no problem making friends, and you have no problem pissing people off either. You either love you or hate you. Is that a true assessment?
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, you're pretty on. You're the
Well,
most honest person around. So that's
My wife and my dad and everybody says I don't have a filter.
It's
I can
clogged.
attest to
It's
that.
clogged to shit.
and
It's there, it's just clogged.
I give 0 F.
Yeah.
So
Either
you grew up.
take it out is, or see you later.
You grew up in Atascadero. You do have no filter, but you're a hardworking dude.
And let's be real. You would do anything for anybody.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So-
The right people. So continue on with you, because it's interesting how you come to help us. Is you graduate high school, but did you go to college, or what was your plan?
That's funny. I was accepted to Fresno State.
Bulldog.
Dude, you got to talk
I
into
feel
this
like I gotta-
because if you're going to
it
be
feels
on your
uncomfortable with
tractor,
some big black
you're
dude
gonna
right
be-
in my front of my face.
you're gonna be so pissed that you can't hear
So
yourself.
maybe it's a good thing.
No, you're great.
No, you're doing good.
Get it?
Okay.
I was accepted to Fresno State, so my grandpa bought the vineyard in 90. I want to say 96. So I was probably 8 years old, right?
Yeah,
And me, my dad, and my grandpa, that was our thing. It was like a hobby.
yeah.
And I was expected to be the first Boneso to go to college. My dad didn't go to college, super successful. My grandpa didn't go to college, super successful. Came here, his parents came here on a boat from Italy, didn't know any English. My grandpa didn't know any English. He ended up knowing 3 languages when he left.
So you're
by the time he was done,
third generation?
third generation.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he, and he just worked his ass off, and that was my best friend, my grandpa.
So let's back up again. Grandpa from Italy straight to the Central Coast?
No, they were up in McLeod.
McLeod. Oh, dude, I'm a Reading kid. You
Oh,
just
up north.
referenced
Okay.
McLeod.
Yeah.
Okay.
McLeod is beautiful.
Mount
up
Shasta
there.
and
There's,
McLeod, yeah.
there's
Okay.
nothing up there, but
So
it's
how did
beautiful.
you-
So my
How
great
did they
grandpa
end up
went up
here?
there. He was a tree topper. He was the one that climbed up, and they actually used one on each side of hand saws.
Oh,
And my grandpa
dude.
would deliver newspapers or do whatever he could, not knowing any English, to help pay for the food and whatever for the family.
How McLeod? How did that happen?
Dude,
No, I don't
they're-
have no idea.
just
They're
tons of tree
immigrants.
work.
Yeah, I
No.
mean, yeah,
Migrated
okay.
here, and that's where they landed. I have no clue.
Fun fact, Hearst
And then-
Castle is here in the Central Coast. McLeod has the other residence. It's a private residence now that William Randolph Hearst built on the river there. McLeod is badass, man. They have the McLeod Falls there. I used to go jump off of it. And like you said, tons of tree work cutting. They're cutting big ass trees down up there.
So we went for work.
Beautiful area. Yeah.
Not witness
Coach Arrow.
protection.
No chainsaws.
Shout
back
out
then.
Coach Arrow.
No,
Used to
hell
take the
no. That's a
Enterprise
man.
High School football team up to McLeod.
Okay, so
No
paint a
Justin
picture.
Brushes back then.
So you come
he
back.
came down from McLeod to here.
No, Menlo Park.
Okay.
So actually, my uncle still lives. Well, he has a house here now off Penman and Union Vineyard, but he still has the place up in the Bay Area that my grandpa built for my great grandma.
Okay. And then how did we get here?
That I have
Paso.
no clue
No
how
clue?
he ended up down here.
Okay, fair enough. But
He was the closest thing I can think of. He was in the plumbing pipe fitters trades, which I was
Yeah.
for 20 years before
sir.
I went on my own. And so I just think him moving around. He was in the San Francisco local, and he traveled doing all that stuff. So I think it just ended up here somehow.
okay,
Yep.
fair enough.
He
Oh,
did.
yeah.
I mean, he had a restaurant up there for a while, and the guy, all he loved to do was cook. Made a mess, but cooked, and ended up here.
So you're going to be the first Boneso to go to college. I
That
can't
was-
wait to see Robbie Boneso with his textbooks.
And my grandpa passed away before I graduated from cancer, esophagus hereditary. And to be honest with you, I hated school. I was only going to do the college thing because because that's what I felt like it was expected of me.
That's what we preached all
So
the time.
I got accepted to Fresno State for viticulture and enology,
Go Dogs.
and had a dorm room, schedule, everything. And it's like 6 months before we're supposed to go. I'm sitting there with my dad, and he goes, "Hey man, college is coming up. You don't seem too pumped." I'm like,
I'm gonna waste your money, Dad.
and that's exactly what I told
Yeah.
Frankie. I go, "Dad, I'm not." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I hate school." I said, "Every chance we have, we're ditching or going, four
Right.
behind or whatever." I said, "I'm gonna waste your money." I
Yeah.
said, "All I know how to do is work."
Had that conversation.
I
Gotcha.
said, he's all, "What the heck?" I said, "I was just going because I felt pressured and expected to be the first Boneso to do it." And he goes, "Well," gave me a bunch of options, listed them out. You can either do nothing for a year and figure it out, or you can do nothing at all, but you ain't doing it here. Get in the military or whatever, but you got to figure it out. And he goes, "So you got to think about tell me what." I said, "I want to get in the trades, do what you did." He was a plumber and moved his way up to his own business,
So you going in
And
the
he goes, "You want to do
trades-
what?"
Oh,
It's
I
like,
bet.
out of
I
all
bet.
the stuff in the world.
What did that involve for you getting in the trades for a lot of people listening?
So
right
to get in the trades is actually a really good thing. They need to push that stuff more these days. I think to
It's
find a
coming back.
skill, to have a skill. If you have a skill you're gonna always have something to do, whether it's electrician, which I don't touch electricity, I always get zapped. I leave that to Zach.
Hold on, if you have a skill, you're always gonna have work. It doesn't pay well. It's a free beer, but you're gonna need to help your buddy unclog the zins from the fucking urinal at Calco's Beer.
Yeah, upper deckies in the urinal.
Right,
That's no good.
In
Keep
your hey
going.
dudes.
This guy's saved us 100 times. The trades. If you have a trade,
You're always going to be
always.
successful.
And connected.
It's
And
crazy. It's a skill
hey,
that
everybody needs
demands.
water. Everybody needs a shitter.
It's
Everybody
true.
needs electricity. Everybody needs a framer to build their house, put a roof over their head. Everybody needs a mechanic for their cars.
A vet for their bit large
Yeah,
animals. They
everybody
need,
needs a welder. which
Welding.
my son's amazing at.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you have a skill or a craft, even if there's no, you could trade that for stuff. You know what I mean? You can't trade a desk
No.
or something if something ever happened. If you have a skill,
It's bartering.
It's bartering.
100%. When COVID hit, you know what Craigie Coons told us?
Fill the tanks with
Fill
beer.
the tanks. We're like, dude, we're not going to sell it. He's all, if shit goes sideways, people will barter for beer.
They will trade meat. They will trade eggs. They will
Yeah,
trade
you're
anything.
absolutely right.
Yep. He's like, people who have stuff will trade. And another thing that's funny, because I know you're a deep thinker too, is they thought this AI stuff was going to take out, all the trades. But instead, it's taking out, the white collar workers. They're cutting out a lot of that stuff, and they're realizing it's never been more important to be a welder, to be a manufacturer, to be someone that can fix engines and, build things and with your hands,
You bring up the AI thing, and that's probably one of the things that scares me the most these days because, you see nowadays, this schooling, I'm sorry you guys came to the school thing, but the kids are already having a hard enough time. Now they got Chat GPT, which we had Cliff Notes back then. That was the closest thing we had. But nobody's going to be able to think for themselves, you know what I mean? And that's my fear is that these kids are just going to expect the Chat GPT or whatever, the AI to do everything for them.
Yeah.
Or you can use the AI to assist you and make stuff really easy. But if you have a skill, you can intertwine that for whether it's design stuff to help you, but you still have
Make it
Boss
easier for
is
you,
here.
but
Yeah.
you need the
Yeah.
knowledge.
So
No.
it's a catch-22 with the AI thing, but
Well, it's funny because the history of schools, like I'm passionate. That's why we left it. But I miss kids. Getting young people excited. They're the most energetic people. But schools were developed to teach people to work in factories. Like that was it. It was like a bell rings, cues of behavior. You go to break. Bell rings, you go to class. Bell rings, you start work. Bell rings, and that stuff is gone now. Now the world is so just open, and anybody can do anything. And so we've never lost that industrialization feel in a school. And think about this. This is the craziest part. And now you got me on. I guess this is a rant. When we started, and it was true, like this teacher went to college and they got all of this education in, let's just say, biology. And they came back to small town USA and they were the smartest person in biology and they taught all the kids or history or whatever that is. Nowadays, that's not true. I can access the information any day, any moment. I can look it up on YouTube. And in fact, in a lot of these people's classes, I guarantee you there's kids that are bigger experts than the teachers. Look at welding. If my parents are welders, I'm probably a better welder. Their welding program's really good here, but we can now access all the information. And it's time for the schools to change because you guys are having a hard time even, where to put your kids.
yeah.
Because you make your kids work.
Oh yeah.
And you teach them,
They
right?
don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you didn't
It's
either.
not just me
And you
either.
didn't.
I've got my little sawed-off pull-lock wife back there just walked in. She's tougher than
Beautiful
nails.
wife that walked in.
Yeah. She's like Martha, man.
She don't play.
And yeah, she
boss.
pushes the kids too. You got to carry your weight, and you got nothing's a handout, nothing's free. You got to work, and
Yeah.
they got they do FFA 4-H, and they make money, and they want something up and above and beyond the bare necessities that we provide as parents. You got to pay for it. You got to, and you'll earn it, respect it, and
And so you're teaching them, it's weird, it's problem-solving skills.
yeah. Yeah.
School doesn't do that. Like you get an issue, you can't look it up. You need to fix it.
That brings up like
Find a
something that you said a bunch, and that was a big thing in my family is, and we do here. If I hear the word I can't or I don't know,
We're not doing that.
I don't know and I can't is unacceptable in our house. Right, Bryson? I don't know. Is not acceptable, and I can't.
We ain't doing that.
What do
We're
you
not
mean you
doing
can't? Why you got to find another way?
Yeah.
You got to figure it out.
Solving.
Somebody else is doing it. You know, my dad, we always talk and we love that, like the blue collar, thing, and call it what you want. I don't give a shit. It's hard work and tough people. I was born into it. My dad was a golf course superintendent and worked his ass off, went to junior college later because that was a path to learn more about grasses and how they grew and everything else. But, his thing was, you don't stand around. There's no waiting around. He would hand people a shovel
Find
and
work.
he'd say, do you know how to work this thing? And my friends would laugh. And
That's
he'd
how I
say-
started to trade was on a
He'd
shovel.
say, if you lean on this shovel, I will kick this thing out from under you.
Well, unless you're Caltrans, they sew their pockets upside down, so you don't have to hold it. This thing.
Well,
Well,
no,
so good luck kicking it out.
You need a spotter for the shovel.
Our first shirt would always tell us, he'd look at us and just be like, find work, lift heavy.
Yeah, and we
No
grew
matter
up
what,
in that.
don't sit there and do nothing.
and look busy.
Find work, look busy. Yeah.
Or if you don't know, go ask. You know what I mean?
Use your
Ask.
resources.
Yeah.
So my guys, like we have our guys. If there's no dumb question, only dumb question is one you don't ask.
Yeah.
Then you're assuming or something gets messed up or
Well, there are dumb questions.
there are. I mean,
Fair enough.
but when it comes to something, if you don't know,
Just dumb people.
or
Wait.
if you like when we interview people, like tell us what you do know and what you don't know. Be honest, being upfront. We want to know. And we know what we're
So
getting.
we can help you.
Yeah, we'll train you. But if we're coming in and you tell us you can do all this stuff, and then we go send you out to do something, and you're sitting there and
You look a fool. They look a fool.
dog,
Yeah.
and that's me and my partner Derek Arms. That's the biggest thing is we do not look like to look like idiots.
Yeah.
Which we already do naturally, but
No, I feel like you look like an idiot.
we
Off time,
strive to be.
But at work, I feel like you're
away
very
from it.
professional.
We strive to give 100% to all of our customers. You're not going to be left unhappy.
Yeah.
And when we get guys like that do that, and then we just look, oh my God, man,
Okay,
that just
so we-
happened.
So the pride came though early. You're talking about it. So your first job, what did you start doing? Plumbing?
Well, my first job was
your
carrying a
first
shovel
set
for
of
my grandpa. That was
professionalism.
he'd take my plastic one, and I had to carry the heavy one on my shoulder, like about when I could walk.
Good.
And then so I rolled with my grandpa. He was a hard worker. 4 o'clock in the morning, leaving the house, did vineyards, the mobile home park, whatever it was.
What'd you do in the
I-
vineyards? What
What
didn't you do in the
What
vineyards?
didn't I do? I did
Okay,
everything:
fair enough.
mowing,
Fair
spraying,
enough.
management. But when I was hoeing weeds, me and Zach hoed a lot of weeds, man.
So what you're saying is Boneso, is that where we went out by the that's the grapes out there?
Well,
or-
we have Boneso Vineyards, which is
Yep.
on Crescent Road across from Neil Spring.
Yep.
Then if you were to turn right on Neil Spring, go down about a mile on the right. It used to be Tally. We
Yeah.
have another 90 acres out there, and then where my dad and my grandma live out there, there's another 180 acres there right next to Robert Hall.
And that was
Pasadena Robles.
before that was big money. That was taking a risk back
Yeah,
then, right?
back then, so 96, there wasn't much grapes around here. There's the Duceys and all them, you know what I mean? Which Benito Ducey was good friends with my grandpa, and that's when it started. We bought 180 acres from Howie Steinbeck, and Robert Hall at the same time bought the other 100. We butt right up to each other, and that's how it all started. And there wasn't now you can see as right now there's a saturation in the market. It's
Yeah.
a struggle right now.
There's a
Grape-
balance.
You don't have a contract. We do a lot of vineyard removal. It's hot, but we also grow grapes and we tank wine. We haul fruit. That's
you
a big
put-
part of our
Hold on.
business.
Talk
You
about
put
that.
fires out.
And that's how we started.
Yeah. Hold on, but go back to that because I think that's a huge piece. As you've been here, man, dude, you're gonna have to be on 3 shows now because a huge piece is your family was in early in the 90s when the Mount Rushmore of Paso came in, right?
Yep.
And,
It was the start of the snowball.
and then things, as any market does in America, it got hot and it ramped up, for the next 20 years. And right now we're seeing a balancing period.
Well, it's happened before. There's it'll probably be 2 years. You'll see it recover. It's happened before. It happened around
will.
08.
It will. But you've seen it. I always love like people out there, and this is where this is way bigger than just Paso. Is like people come in and they see the people doing well and say, "Oh, that's easy. It must be easy," and they miss the part where right now you have to be innovative. You have to be able to adjust. And you said some people are ripping out their vines right now because they don't want to spend the money to take care of them, right?
Well, it's not necessarily that. The big part of the tearing out the vines is, which we got into on accident doing our own stuff, and is vines get they call it red blotch. It's in the leaves. So it's basically like a cancer. All vines get it. It's about 25 years in.
It's time for them to go.
Time for them to go, and we're about at that mark because you're paying the same farming costs and everything, and you're getting the minimal years.
Producing as not.
Yeah, there you go.
So they got to take them out and put them back in.
And so Paso's seeing a little balancing in that, but Paso's fine. It's just there's always in any business like this boom time, and then there's some sort of settling in period, and then you see it again. Then it ramps up again. You know, whether it's a housing market, and
It's like anything.
yeah, hell yeah. And so you've seen this area do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's like he was saying, we do fires. That's how we started.
That's one. How many fires do you think you've helped put out?
Me or my guys?
I mean, well,
No, we oh shit, I have no idea. We've been on so many of them. Stephen Kuhn does the same thing. I mean, you don't keep track. You just wait for the phone call and you just
but
go
how does
down
that
there.
work? Like, you're not out there. You guys are bringing the water to them, correct?
We have our low beds, so we can do transport for whether somebody's got a dozer, no transport, or if we have to put Cal Fire's dozer on our trailer and sit at station coverage because their stuff's out, because they always have to have a piece of equipment to cover something here, or we bring our water truck and we're either I pulled up to a fire right out here and they're like, hey, you got an inch and a half hose, and I'm like, yeah, they pull it out, start wetting that hillside, and it's fire, blowing sideways. And we're literally firefighters without the CDF patch. I mean, we're
And you're talking about
You're all
Boneso
over.
Harms, your business right now, yeah. And
now it's supposed to be a side gig. That's now a full-time side gig.
you're an
That's a good
entrepreneur.
side gig.
You're an entrepreneur, man. You put your money where your mouth is and went out there. And so when you started, go back, keep going, because I love the story. Hard working. You were starting working with your grandpa. You're on the farms. You're working hard. You're learning this work ethic, but you got to take a risk somewhere, or you got to. Then you take a job with your dad. Is that right?
Well, to back up,
I want to know how you learn
take-
your skills.
I didn't.
'cause people see the.
So I told you I didn't like
the
school.
end.
Didn't want to go to school. I knew I was going to waste 5-6 years, maybe 8. I'll be like Van Wilder. I don't know.
A doctor.
Just checking
PhD.
Yeah, working on all the co-ed patients.
Yeah, like I just knew that with my mentality, the way I was a pain in the ass for my parents growing up. I just told my dad, I'm going to party and go hang out, and I'll do it on my own time. I ain't going to waste yours. All I know how to do is work.
Right.
Told him I ain't going to college. I had to send a letter, saying I ain't going, and got out of that. And he goes, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be in the trades. And he goes, well, I don't know about that's a good idea, but here you go. Here's the business agent for San Luis. Go down and you have to take a math test, no calculator, which I don't know how many kids could probably do that today.
To try
Long
to do that
division.
right now.
I probably couldn't do it anymore either.
No AI.
We got AI now.
Do you have a slide rule?
I mean, they give you a ruler and a protractor, and it's like 100 questions. Then you get in and you do. It's 5 years, 5-year program. And back then,
How many people were there?
it depends on the year, but normally there's about 20 to 30 guys.
Okay.
And then you go through the whole thing. You start as a first-year apprentice, and you go all the way up to 5th year. And as you go up, you get a jump in pay every time you go to another year. So your pay goes up. Back then, I started, it was like $12.75, $12.50 an hour. And I was living
in
on my own. 'Cause I
96?
think pretty much my dad had me out of the house before he even graduated high school because I was that much of a pain in the ass.
Fair enough. Smart man.
And never let me back, which I
Yeah.
didn't want to go back. I don't like rules, but
Yeah. He's yours, Union.
he made me, him and my grandpa made me where I'm at, no, I can't do it. And like if I could tell anybody, if you want to do something and you put your mind to it, you don't need school unless you're gonna be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. But don't say you can't do anything. If you put your mind to it, you're gonna you'd be amazed what you can get done.
But
And if you have the drive.
Let's not shortchange. Like, I guess school is an irrelevant word. You did go to school for 5 years.
I did go to school.
You went to the
But
school of
I
hard
went to
knocks.
school
Yeah.
to learn trades.
The school of
And
trades.
you learn those trades. So you work through your 5
skill
years.
school.
So we do.
And then they
I
kind of
mean,
give you your blessing. Like, you can
well,
go.
well, you got to pass tests and everything to get journeyed out. So
Okay.
to become a journeyman. So I mean, all those schools. There's math, there's welding, plumbing, med gas. I did med. That was one of my specialties, medical gas, clean pipe, stuff like that. And you have to pass the test. I ended up doing both pipe fitters and plumbers, so I have both cards. I still hold them now, just in case something ever happens. I can always fall back onto it. I can go travel across the whole country and just give them my card, and I can jump in, go to work.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Which I push.
Which you do at Calcoast
the
every now and
unions, the unions. There's a catch-22 too. There's a lot of politics in it,
Of course.
and
School
but at the
has
same
politics.
time, you have work. Like if you don't have work, you can, and you're a good employee. Which I dealt with a lot of that stuff up in the Bay Area when I did. Is there? Oh, slow down. You're gonna work yourself out of a job instead of working yourself into the next one. Work hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you do, and you have a good reputation, and everybody knows you're on that hire list. Which when we were there, we'd have a do not hire list for people like that.
Yep.
And you could tell them that, like, hey, there's a do not hire list, and you have to fill out a slip and all that stuff. Work yourself in the next job. But if you go on the books, you can then there's A, B, C list depending on how you rank. And then you get a call out, and you can either accept it or turn it down. But there's always that chance to go into the next job, and you're not waiting that long. You know what I mean?
How do you feel about unions? It's a catch-22 because I feel like the union in teaching protects a lot of bad people too, and like slows
There's
down
bad people
the
and all of it.
go-getters.
Like I said, there's a lot of politics, and you gotta fish a lot of that, which is hard when you're young because unions, politically, they normally push Democrat side of stuff.
They were necessary
And
in the beginning,
they're
right?
pushing you how to vote instead of thinking on your own. So that's a downfall.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, 5 years journeyman. And then where did you go from there? You were up.
So you're working. So I took like a couple months off in the summer, right when I graduated. Took a couple months off and grabbed a shovel and was sanding ditches behind Craig Heschke on a backhoe. I smoked.
Down here.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
here. First
okay.
job was Cuesta College out here. We did the new campus.
Nice. When did you know that was the work you wanted to do? Your whole life? Did you grow up that way, or?
No, just
'Cause you're a smart dude.
My
Like, you
dad
could
was
go
in
do
the
something
trades.
else.
My grandpa was in the trades. I just knew that I wasn't going to go to college, but I needed to get something that was going to be good, pay good. You get your 401ks, you get full benefits and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
I wanted something that I could make a career out of.
I'm going to tell you
And
right
instead
now.
of just having a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You went to school, which you can call it whatever you want.
And you're working while you're going to school.
You learned all these trades. I went to college, and you know what my foreign language was? Was puppetry. I would put
Your
a
hand in your
sock on,
butt?
well, not in my butt, but in a sock, and that would check that box. So I'm listening to what you're saying and what I paid for.
Yeah. Not the same.
Yeah, you
So
don't.
you're like a Jeff Dunham?
Don't
Not this,
don't shortchange yourself, dude. You got some education in you.
no.
Well, and to be honest with you, I wish I would have paid more attention to
We all do.
school and math
Shoot.
In life.
with trig, because I didn't realize how much trig had to do with the plumbing and pipe trades when you got to do rolling offsets with weld pipe or stainless or and you put them on a rack, and like especially like mechanical rooms or open ceilings, that's show pipe. That's
Oh, yeah.
But
everybody
you
walks
know
in
that
see-
now.
and you
Look
can't
right
have
here.
something look like a
The
retard of the
sweeps.
Chuck E. Cheese put it together. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Tommy came in and patina.
But you
and,
could probably teach a trig class now.
It's
No,
crazy.
I don't know if that would be a good idea.
But you can
I could
understand.
teach you how to put some pipe together and make it look good though.
It's all trig.
Yeah, Tommy, what you said, Tommy was doing the copper pipe, and it had to reach, that sweep had to reach perfectly, and all three of those
You
lines
don't want to be
are
up there
going.
cutting it 10 times.
No, and
guessing.
and you don't want and the worst in the trades, let's talk about this. Worst in the trades is your boys are going to come back and make fun of you.
Oh yeah,
If your
if
work
it's
isn't
exposed.
Oh, geez.
So we'd be here like, don't worry
You got a
about
big
it.
old
Thank you so
glob
much.
hanging off a solder joint, look like a big old bird turd. Like,
Bird turd.
You want it to, you want to have some pride in the stuff you're putting in.
With anything.
So you worked with your stuff and built yourself up, and then you decided at some point to start your own company.
Well, yeah. So I worked in the trades. I was in the trades almost 20 years. I worked my way up from sanding ditches behind a backhoe and learning everything. A bunch of good guys taught me a lot when took me under their wing. They like Jim Perry, like that guy. My dad put me with him. He said, if you could work with Jim Perry, he's a cranky old Portuguese.
You'll work with anybody.
He said you can work for
You
Jim
gotta
Perry.
watch the Portuguese. They're tough.
You work for that guy, you can work for anybody. And that guy, I called it Jiminese. He'd be like, hey, take that there over yonder and put and he'd whistle and a hoo-ha and a doodad and a chingamadera and his son was in the trades started at the same time I did. And I'm looking at him and I've known him for my whole life, And I'm like, the hell did your dad just say? I don't understand with a hoo-ha and a thingamadoo over here. He goes, oh, he wants you to take that 3-inch cast iron, run it at 1/8 inch per foot, put a clean out over here, drop it down. Then you're going to put another clean out here, two hole straps on some units. And I'm like, how the hell did you get that out of there? It was Jiminese and ropes and pulleys for that guy. He was an
And
old
then you
school
figured
rancher,
it
bean
out,
farmer.
right?
Well,
Now
yeah, I started speaking Jiminese at the end.
Now you're bilingual.
Yeah, and now I'm
Fucking
fluent.
amazing.
No, I'm bilingual, not in puppetry though. So then I worked my way up. We were doing a lot of housing tracks back then, and we were doing the ones right over here above Walmart. So what's that, Deer Park?
Yeah.
And my dad was probably a third-year apprentice. I think maybe about 19, 20 years old. Goes, hey, I'm still an apprentice. And he goes, you're gonna, we had like 150 houses to finish. Says you're the new foreman on the job. And I go, what? You want me to do what? Hands me
Say what?
from another guy that was gonna go do another job.
Hand you the OSHA rules.
No, he hands me these binders that have all these with all the plans, but they're like the binders missing off the top. The pages are in, they're all loose. The plans are all mixed matched, and I got like 5 guys working for me. And I'm just standing there, like, holy shit! And my dad literally looked at me and goes, "Sink or swim." Turns around, gets in the truck, and drives off. So Syntex was running. I go in their office trailer. I just grab a bunch of binders of their supplies, grab it, go out and make it, get it all organized, go figure out what the hell we're doing, and took it and ran.
Fake it till you make it, right?
You fake it until the inspector shows up and says you can't do that. Can't tell him I'm still learning, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's not an excuse.
I'm
still
from
learning.
Running housing tracks to NASA Ames. That was at that time was Obama's baby. It was the greenest building in the United States.
Where's that?
Moffett Field, San Jose,
Moffett, yeah.
Sunnyvale.
DJs, shout out. Got
Yeah.
it.
Did Slick Six out there at Vandenberg for the missile silos.
Wait, hold on. So the parajumpers were out there training? That's where they train? Or
That's where they
They're
launch the
stationed
rockets.
out there at Moffett, and then down where he's at, that's rockets.
Yeah, like Moffett is where they put the jets. They have the wind tunnel out there, and they put them in station, and they blow. Oh, it's a nasty sound, man. They run this wind, and that's where they test. They have smoke, and they can see like the pitch off of wings.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
Frank,
Yeah.
were you a parajumper?
No.
my grandpa was 82nd Airborne.
The parajumpers are badass.
PJ's a
They're
little
crazy.
different, but 82nd Airborne, salute.
Parajumpers are. We saw a couple in here, and they seem like pretty cool guys. Pretty crazy.
They're animals. My grandpa said those back when he was doing those, you couldn't control them parachutes like they do now.
Oh, no, they're cargo
You got
shoots
dropped
when your
wherever the
grandpa
hell you
was
got
there.
dropped.
Yeah.
Gone.
Hung up in trees, and he said he's dropped, and they do them in layers. People got arms falling next to you.
There's no controlling. Don't pull that riser. You're fucked.
I want to say if my memory,
weird you know a lot
and I
about
was
it.
told right. My grandpa out here in Paso, when they used to do skydiving out here, my grandpa's 60th, and they're a day apart, 30 years. My grandpa did his 100th jump when my dad did his first jump.
Oh, that's
And
badass.
my grandpa comes in. He never ran one of those. He just comes in. My dad just
Garage shield.
yeah, pretty cool.
Fucking gravity.
So back to it.
So you're working. You're working up
shit,
there.
we did get a whiteboard.
Finally got some jobs.
Moved on to running big jobs with 30, 40 guys at 23, 24 years old. I mean, Ashley's got the kids. I'm out of town the whole week, which she's a trooper for putting up with that. just had to make it happen, to going into the office and bidding $26 million jobs and project managing, dealing with owners, and
Yeah.
was in the office for 10 years, got fat, and
How's that going now?
I was still
Now
fat, but
he's
I'm
out.
down about 50 pounds. It's still
He's in a
fat. That's
tractor.
bad when you lose 50 pounds and you're still fat.
It's in a tractor. You start your own business. You start cleaning shitters and driving tractors.
So then we're there, just trying to be that guy, trying to do more. And we got into, me and my brother-in-law, he had been talking about it for a while, and got a water truck.
Yeah, hell
Brand new, ordered in Arizona, built to fire spec. Got it here and did good. And we're like, oh, what happens when we don't have fires? Because there could be fire season where you don't do stuff. You don't do anything.
Yeah, and it hasn't
That
seemed to
truck
be
still
the-
costs money to sit there.
Sure does.
Insurance,
I feel like it's
payment.
been pretty good the last couple of years.
payment.
Did you guys start before or after the chimney fire here?
After the chimney fire, the year after,
Yeah.
2016, when we started.
And what's the decision? I know we jumped ahead. For the people who are thinking about being entrepreneurs, what is it like to just take the leap?
It's difficult, man. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of weight you carry too, and especially when you guys know, when you get employees, you got to worry about them too. They're feeding families. You're trying to find work.
100%.
You're trying to be diversified. That's why I went and got my A and B contractor's license. Just, we do a lot of ag stuff, but we could be out there. Oh, we need to cut a pad or do stuff. Instead of just saying I can't do it and sending it to somebody else, be like, hey, I can do that. I'm not going after it, but yeah, we got our stuff here.
I can't.
Just trying to find stuff. There's a lot of responsibility, a lot of weight, but if you put your mind to it.
How many employees you run?
We have, we're about, counting me and Derek, I think we're about 9 now.
Which you
that's-
thought you were just going
that's
to start
heavy.
with you guys.
Started with
right?
a water truck. We have
Yeah.
8 semi-trucks and probably about 30 trailers and a bunch
Well,
of equipment. And
And for you, like we have a little bit of an ebb and flow in our business. For you, the work can stop the second you don't have jobs,
oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah. And then, my brother-in-law, he's really good at, he's a hard worker too, overgrown hormone.
He's and a good wrestler.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's got super retard strength. I wouldn't
Yeah.
mess. He's like
I-
a Montero. Even the
Derek,
Monteros don't want to mess with him.
I appreciate you for not slamming me on the ground on the trail ride. It's probably next year, but thank you.
You were safe, remember?
Got 1 year. I got to pass. We'll get to the trail ride, but
Yeah.
yeah. So you guys, and what's it like to have Frank and I work together all the time? A partner is a partner. Like that's a real thing, right?
It's tough. I ain't gonna lie.
Sure is.
I have the best
Wait,
partner.
what do you mean it sure is?
I got lucky.
Hold
I
on.
got the best partner. He's just as hardworking, not harder. That guy is always going, and he's got the same mentality. God blessed with him as a
Get it
brother-in-law. Started out knowing him at 14 years old. He was in the housing tracks when we were plumbing, and when I met him, he was doing windows.
Yeah.
And then we started hanging out. He looked like he was 21, going to the bars with us, underage, where I'm getting carded and he's not.
He's a big dog.
To where he met my sister from us hanging out, riding street bikes, dirt bikes, partying, beating people up in Atascadero, which he's from Atascadero, he still rolled with us. To asking if you could date my sister, and I'm like, finally somebody cool, to marrying her, to being my business partner.
In all fairness, you couldn't say no because he just slammed me on the ground.
Yeah, well, we're not going to tell anybody that. But
Yeah, we just did.
no, he's
But
a
he's
cool
badass.
guy.
We
He's a
just
great
did.
dude. And you take the risk.
yeah.
And you
know-
talked about that. You just leaned on. It's a blessing to find somebody who pushes you and works as hard as you do, because that's hard to find.
And I'm not going to lie, Derek and I've had our battles, and just as any partner would, but key to it is finding out what you guys are doing, and you stay in that lane. Like, that he's got that and you got this, and you guys don't cross paths. You talk about it. Communication key.
100%.
We talk all the time. We know where every penny's going. Communication's key. Talk about it. And I know Derek, he does all the dispatch, all of, bills and all that stuff. And then I do the payroll, bids, and all the ag side of stuff. So we stay in that deal. If somebody's got, go call Derek if you want something. Oh, I want to talk to you. I said, that's not how we operate. That way we don't look stupid again. Going back to looking
Yes,
stupid,
sir.
we keep one
Yeah.
point of contact. Even with our guys, if I tell you to go do something and Derek's telling him to go do something, then now we got a hole. Or same thing with loads, you know what I mean? So we don't want to look like fools, and it's just keep one point of contact. figured that out. So that's the thing, is just knowing where you guys' stuff's at, where your lanes are, and you stay in it and you work together and communicate. That's I'd say probably the best advice as a partner. And work with family's tough too, because there's more there. There's a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
You know,
You get to hang out on the holidays together.
exactly. And then, you know, my sister, I love to death. My kids are all good, close to my nephews. So you got to keep that in mind too. Like,
Yeah.
throwing it away and saying, screw it, you know?
Well, and we've been through it. We all been through it. We love each other out here. And, you know, we met through this place. But in every business, there's challenges where, you know, family, people, all these things challenge you, and you have to find out who cares about you and keep rolling on, you know, and you can't let the negativity enter your system or derail what you were about, which is people, plans, possibilities for us, you know, and for you, it's the same. You know, you've had those challenges and you guys have worked through, and people start to see who you are, and they know who you are. They know the work you do, right? You build a reputation.
Yeah. Well, that's, like I said, that's the thing with us too. We don't advertise. We're all word of mouth, really, you know what I mean? Or we've gone and found it, and we build that clientele where we're the guy. And it's because, I mean, we're not the cheapest, but you know what I mean? You get what you pay for, right? So we
Still learning that.
strive to make sure everybody's happy, and they know that we're not leaving until it's done the way they expected it to be done. And being prompt, being on time management, like you're saying, you know, grape season, I mean, it's all hours of night. Our trailer's going to be there, and that load's going to be at the fucking winery when it's supposed to be there.
Yep.
You know, it's
Your
stupid
word
stuff
is
like
everything.
that people don't think about, but it's key.
Well, and you look at us, you support us, and you've helped make us who we are. All of you know.
I found that out on a couple podcasts ago. I didn't know that. I just did.
You helped make us who we are.
I don't know
Well,
how I
shit.
did, but
You look at our operation, we don't distribute. You know, there's all this fancy stuff in beer, and not that we're putting anyone down, but we don't do that. We have a place here. We live here. Frank's obviously in Cayucas, and we'd love to have a place there. And but we're about this community. Make enough money to pay people. We don't need all the fancy shit. You know, it's like,
and that's what I love about you guys is that we do a lot in the community, you know. And you guys, if we need something to help doing it, you guys are always Johnny on the spot. And you know, and people see that. We get a lot of feedback on all the stuff we do, you know.
We're not floating over what you do in the community.
No.
Let's get
So
into
No,
the
I'm
real-
saying
on,
for you guys being, you know, you're there if you need something, because
We wanna
you got
be
the
there.
same, you got the same mentality. This is a town. This is kind of a last dying breed here, you know, in Paso Robles, and
yeah,
It really
and
is.
you guys have the same view as we do with keeping it alive, you know.
you don't choose Paso. Paso chooses you, right?
This is a true statement.
Isn't it true?
It's very true.
For you, what committees are you on? You're on Pioneer Day.
Board for Pioneer Day and board for Paso Trail Ride. That's
And what
Leonard
spurs
in
you?
there.
What spurs you on to be on that and be involved in that?
Just like we were talking about, keeping the history. And,
Yeah.
you know, like Pioneer Day is cool. It's been going forever, you know, and we go have like work days down here where you bring your kids, and they, you know, they've got 8-year-olds working with 80-year-olds, teaching them about a 100-year-old tractor, you know, and the history of stuff. And
Freaking awesome.
you don't get that from any school.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
And the history of it and how that stuff, you know, from the mules and horses to tractors to, I mean, now we've got GPS and stuff. It's just crazy, you know.
And you were a part of Pioneer Day going to pick up tractors.
Yeah, we hauled tractors.
How many of them?
Oh man, we took
So
pretty much the whole barn
so
down to
Paso
Margarita.
Robles has the largest tractor collection. Is
Correct.
that right?
Yeah, and we just acquired like
On
Justin,
the West Coast or where?
World.
in the world.
In the world.
And like we said, Justin was talking about, we just acquired that one from up north from another family. So
And
that's pretty
you
cool.
donate your time for that too?
Everything's a donation.
Fuel's expensive.
Fuel's expensive, but
How many tractors do you think you have?
you know,
Off the top of your head, just like a ballpark.
yeah, I couldn't tell you because I couldn't keep track of who's is like Tom Madden's or Andy's, or we got personal people that have tractors down there. There's a shit pot,
And these
There's a lot.
tractors are
and they all run. That's the thing that about
That's
us.
what I was gonna
There's
say,
Pioneer
they
Days. I think
drive.
I could be mistaken, but I think there's 3 other Pioneer Days in the United States that could say everything runs. If something's not here running now, it will be.
Oh,
it's
damn
not lawn
right.
art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna be moving and it's gonna be tip top shape and something to be proud of. You know.
And you
We got all these young kids that come down here and do all this. Just putting the work in. It's awesome.
well, and your
That's
boys are
amazing.
the next generation of it, help
Yep.
keeping it going. And you and Justin and Robbie, shit, they're tied at the hip in a good way. You guys are the tip of the spear for like the
Front and
next
back
generation.
Don't forget Zach. Zach's in there
and
too.
Zach. Sorry, Zach's got. We're gonna have Zach and Wade on there. You guys are it to keep, because it'd be easy to let this stuff go. Whether it's Pioneer Day, whether it's the work that's done with the trail ride and things like that. You're the next generation of this pride.
It's how you get into these things too. Is you help too much, and next thing you know, you're voluntold to be on the board.
You say that,
and
but
then you got to own it.
you say that, but without you, it wouldn't be there. And
That's
you
the
know
thing
that.
is there's not many people that want to step up and do it. You know.
Yeah.
Do you see your son stepping into that?
Oh yeah, I could see a bunch. I could see them all.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Ashley was in there too. She's on so much stuff too. She.
Oh, the
had to-
ladies actually do all the work behind the scenes.
Shout
That's
out
the
to
real
Emily.
thing.
Emily.
Emily runs Brush Barbecue. We know that. Martha runs the brewery here, and Christine tells Frank,
Emily.
how to
Emily's
stay.
pretty much taking the head on the
making
Pioneer
beer.
Day stuff too, man. She's good. Nobody realizes how much she does. It's
Yeah.
pretty incredible. On top of work and everything else.
Yeah, we stay in the front, and then they make sure that we're taken care of and that it can actually happen, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're the next trail ride. Tell us about the trail ride. We talked about it briefly. Trail ride's coming up, and you're in charge, El Presidente.
Allegedly.
Is that real or no?
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you fired up about that, or
Oh, how can you not be? You've been there.
can you?
We've taken how long to get you there? You've been there. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Well, Frank
But
still
so
hasn't gone.
Yeah, Frank's.
One of these
My tummy
kids
hurts.
is not like the others.
Oh, fuck
Just
it.
grow a
We're gonna
pair,
Throw
come
that
on.
right now.
Something. The trail ride is it's an ode to.
It's another
you know,
history thing, you know.
it is.
You
It's
guys
a-
talked a little bit. Well, I think
I
we're
was
going to do a
very
podcast where we
impressed.
get.
A whole
into the depth
podcast.
of
I was
Yeah.
very impressed. Yeah. So you're the next president.
And you go out there and you just. What I love about the Paso ride is, it's like 200 guys of all walks of life. From monetarily wise to. It's a networking thing too. I mean, you get to meet some of the best people, and nobody cares if you've got a diesel pusher that's $250,000 you're sleeping in out there, or if you're laying alongside a pile of horse shit in the back of your horse trailer with a 1987 Chevy pulling it. You know what I mean? Nobody cares.
You know what's funny is when you told me that, you
Just
said
be genuine and be awesome. And
you said it's a networking thing, and I thought, man, we're doing okay in the brewery. I don't really need to go out there and like try to get people to come drink beer. It's not what you meant. What you meant is
like a brotherhood.
great people supporting great people.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until I went out there, because nobody cares. They care about you as a
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's a great part. Like, I met George Hurst out there and didn't even know who he was, and he ended up being one of the good friends, that he'd talk to once or twice a month, and
Yeah.
didn't realize who the hell he was until he knew who I was testing me. But he said the thing that I loved about feeling me out was that I was just talking to him like we're talking right now. I didn't want nothing from him. He was just,
Right.
Yeah.
at that time when I met him, just a ranch host that drove an old work truck edition, slept on a cot with the door open at night. He could have set a whole hotel up in that place and tore it down.
Well, in
You
Paso,
still don't want anything.
the
from
wealthier you are,
He's passed now, but yeah, I still don't.
Yeah,
Never did.
Yeah, it was never.
More
Paso
of a
has a
friendship.
funny a way. The wealthier you are, the shittier your truck is.
It was
On
work. It was
purpose,
single
right?
cab work truck edition.
Dude, you're rich
rubber
as
mask.
fuck.
The old time.
That
Thank you.
truck's badass.
You are
Thank
wealthy
you.
as hell.
Dude, that's a Sunburn
Paint,
Chevrolet.
peel, and
my
everything.
friend. Wait till I drive the new one, 1960. It's coming. Tom said it's coming.
Hey, it's better than your Chevrolets, right?
Chevrolet. Shove one foot, let the
See,
other one
if
fall.
you had to drive your Chevrolets and you wore Velcro shoes, you'd be in trouble.
I'm telling you, I'm making a change in this world.
Oh shit! Well,
So can I just
keep going.
flashback because you came in this brewery, you came and started drinking some beer here, right? What
no,
was
we
the
offered him a beer that wasn't ours. The
okay,
first
very
time.
beginning.
Yeah,
very
when did you
beginning.
come back?
Well,
You had to come back.
exactly. Why did you keep coming back?
Well, because of you two clowns.
Okay, fair enough. Clowns. I guess you can paint us like that.
No, I mean, came back just all right. Well, Gallagher saying go check him out. Kept coming back, and you both just go, what's up? How's it going? Just give a good vibe. And then, like I've told you and Martha 100 times, the thing I love about this place, and I don't go anywhere else anymore because I feel like I'm cheating on you guys. This is a spot. I'd rather come here and pay $20 a beer, right?
I told you we should raise our prices.
But what I'm getting at is because of Blake, like perfect example, bringing the water in, Jen, Justin, all these, you guys have great help. And they're asking you, how's it going? How was your day? How's the family? How's the wife? That stuff means something more than a ticket going in a cup saying this is what you owe.
Yeah.
You know, there's
it's not a beer and a bill.
They're treating you like your family.
Yeah,
you are.
So I mean, you know, that goes a long ways, guys. You know,
so much,
but that goes a long ways both ways. Because like we talked about it earlier today, Robbie, I could call you and say my daughter's broke down on 41 somewhere, and within minutes you would have somebody, or you would have somebody there to help her.
Absolutely.
Once you're in Paso, you're in.
That's family.
That's what you're supposed to do, though. You take care of your people.
That's not normal in the world. I'll say that. I think a lot of things are superficial these days.
But that's not for everybody, Frank. I mean, that's why I say I'd rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies, because you get taken advantage of that way, which my wife says that's my biggest downfall, is I always help everybody and I always get screwed.
Dude,
you know?
But
that's how my grandpa was, and that's how I was raised.
Part of helping people all the time.
And
but
you don't want help.
You can't look at it as being screwed. Like,
at least I know I did out and I tried my best.
Yeah.
The rest, if you burn me once, I'm not gonna let you forget about it.
You have my trust till you don't have my trust.
Well, and you don't. It's nice when you meet someone who reciprocates, right? So like they help you as much as you're helping them, and it almost feels weird.
Yeah.
Because you're like, wait.
That's not normal, man.
You don't need anything from me, you know. Like,
Ashley's like, always. When are you gonna get yours? When are you gonna get your payback? Where's so and so?
Yeah, and
Dude,
always go ahead.
You're getting it right now.
Mm-hmm. We always
that filter's on me, dude.
Oh, you guys have no problem. You guys have no problem with reciprocation.
Give till it hurts.
You know, like you guys, you need beer. I want to pay for it. You know, for our Christmas parties, which you guys never come to. You don't want any payment, so I just gotta go slip. I gotta go slip some $100 bills in your workbench or some shit. At least, or I give it to Zach because I know he'll freaking get it.
He'll put it in his pocket.
He'll get it to somewhere.
Because these two guys aren't gonna take it, so I know Zach will make sure he gets it.
Oh yeah. No, dude, it's about taking care of your people and, like you said, building teams. That's what we've done.
Or all the stuff we do. You know, you guys donate stuff all the time, but like I was saying, you get a lot of other people going, man, those guys are great. That place is awesome. I didn't even know it existed. Like, I'm definitely going back. You know what I mean? So it works. When you put out, it comes back full circle.
Well, and with us, like the funny part is we don't distribute like we talked about. So we don't send that deep discount. Is most breweries are like sending it out to, canning or, restaurants and things like that. Our deep discount is to our community. Like, that's where, it all evens out. Is like that discount is given to all our friends and the people that come through and the people that are there for us. And
see, I don't know about the discount thing either. I'd rather support my friend's business than take advantage of it.
It's so true, but
you're not taking advantage.
We'd rather not have you pay.
You get people come up, hey, dude, like, hook me up with this, or do this. They don't understand what goes into it. But
yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm not saying you guys do that. I'm just saying I'd rather just say, hey, man, tell me what it costs. Because I'd rather support you guys and see you succeed than try to get a discount or take advantage of it.
That's a beautiful relationship. And we both see it. You know why it works? Because we both see it the same way from the opposite side. I'd rather you get it for free than anyone else. And you'd rather pay me or pay us than pay anyone else. Right? Yeah. And somewhere in the middle,
it's going to have to be done one way or another. I'd rather just pay you guys. You know what I mean? That's how I feel.
Oh, I believe
support your business and see you be successful.
Hell yeah.
But maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know.
And we're still here. Shit, we're 6 years.
No, you are. You were sitting with 2 other ones.
How long you been in?
How long
has Boneso Harms been going?
Since 2016.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, you're rolling up on a decade.
I know, I'm getting old.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
And we still got to wear lace-up boots.
Yeah. Calcos has been here for 6 years.
I'm getting you Velcro.
Dude,
I'll sport them when I'm not working, dude. I'm just saying, you just can't. time management, man. Sometimes you just can't do it when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Dude, this guy took.
I felt like you just took a shot at me, man.
He took offense to time management.
40 hours? I'm like, I don't even want to think about that right now. I don't have a choice.
Like, well, Frank's
Chicken
math
ankles,
was
man.
shoddy. I didn't know.
That math was not
math.
shoddy. That math was on.
I think it's shoddy.
Say the math again.
I'm not going down that road
If you
again.
tie your
I got
shoes,
You
enough.
can't remember.
40 days, 40 hours, 40 years. Jake wrote a bunch of shit on our thing right
He
here.
did.
I
Shout
thought
outs.
the board was empty. What?
Yeah,
future
now my
listeners.
anxiety doubled.
Robbie in after a winter clip. I don't know. I think Robbie's getting. Dude, you're smooth on here, by the way.
I think you
I-
are. Like, this felt really good. So I'm going to ask you something, Robbie.
I don't know
Nick-
if I want to answer this.
Well, you don't have
I
to.
feel like you're going to
You don't
ask
have
me
to.
something stupid about
No.
Velcro
That's at the end.
shoes.
That's at the end. What's next?
What's next with
You.
another beer?
Okay. No, well, you have it right here. After
Oh,
that,
I'm just, shit, I don't, you know, it's every day's different. I'm still trying to grow. Don't want to get too big. My brother-in-law had a goal for 10 trucks. We had 9 till we had an accident. We're not going to talk about that. We're getting there and be to where I don't have to wear lace-up boots and I can wear Velcro.
yeah, you're gonna look
And
good in
this thing can run itself and operate, and hopefully, I know my son was working for us and he was an asset loss because he has other goals and he's really good at welding and he's starting his own business and learning, working for Paso Tank. And I get that, you know, but we still have the younger boys and my nephew, and they seem to have an interest. And hopefully, if that's not what they want to do, God bless their heart. But
Yeah.
I'd like to be sitting on a beach with Velcro shoes someday and letting.
Two me and you right next to each other.
Dude, you two boys have the same vision. I'll
So-
sit there for 5 minutes, but I'm gone after that.
Okay, so I want to ask you one other one, and then actually I got two more. All right, your son's a welder.
Freaking
Badass.
badass welder.
I would challenge. I bet you I can give him a project he couldn't weld. It would
Thanks
be too
to
great
props
for
to
a
Bryson
smoker.
Norelli. Props to Bryson Norelli.
Right? No, we need Norelli on here, too.
I don't know, man. If I say if I don't have a filter, I think that guy might talk.
Yeah, the guy has less of a
Okay,
filter.
so
But
if
he's awesome.
my last question, and then I'll be done.
No,
Oh
you're
my
not
god!
done.
Oh, we're 3 pints in. You're not.
I know.
Here, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to beers, brother.
What
Cheers to
would
Calcos.
what would you have done different?
That's hard, man. I don't try to look back and dwell on stuff. I try to look forward and correct. I don't even know if I correct.
What
Everything
advice-
happens for a reason.
what
you know?
advice would you
whether it's
give?
good or it's learning.
What advice would you give to not?
So if I
make
could give
your
an advice, it's like you're
mistakes
talking.
that-
Well, I mean, that's how you learn from mistakes, right?
correct, and you made the mistake. So how can you help someone not make that mistake?
I'd say, like you were saying, starting a business or something.
Yes.
Like I told my son, we had this talk probably a couple weeks ago. Don't just jump into it, and I mean, I know you guys did, but you're a little different,
We didn't just jump into it. Let's
But-
be fair with that.
which we didn't. Thank God,
Right.
my brother-in-law worked for PG&E, and I was in the trades, right? Before we peeled off in our
You,
stuff
you
through.
dipped your feet into it a little bit. I totally.
We
understand
didn't
that.
take Ashley how many years until we took anything? Probably 6 years before we took a penny. Well, we've been 9 years, so and
8?
I've been
She said
no,
8.
it's not 8 because we've been on our own for 5. So it's probably
Mama's told
about
her head,
5
like,
years.
that-
We didn't
that-
take a
that ain't
penny.
right.
Correct
Right?
your wife
Yeah.
on a podcast.
What
see
we did
happens.
was we had a job where we were making money and still supporting the family, but we were building the business. So anything
Yeah.
in the business that we got back in revenue, we were turning around and buying more equipment or paying something off. And
So
and
did it
helping
take
your
longer
people.
than you expected?
to be honest with you, I didn't know that we were gonna. This was supposed to be a side thing. It was scary, man. I stepped away from something very comfortable, and did the scariest thing I ever thought I'd ever do in my life. You know, worrying
have
about
that in common.
a mortgage and supporting our family, and it's scary. Going from making good money and 401k, a pension, and badass benefits to I'm paying my own insurance and.
and a
I
lot
gotta
to
find
learn.
work because if I don't, our mortgage is not getting paid, and you guys ain't eating. a lot of weight, you know. But it's the best thing there's probably ever done, man. Working for yourself's the best. You just got to do it right. If you go in and you just think that everything's just gonna fall in line and you don't have a, you know, if you're just going for it, it's not gonna happen. You know, I mean, without some proper planning. You know,
so 100% of what you're saying is a lot of planning.
You find the business.
When you think that's going to turn and you're going to make money, just double that time.
Just like Bryson's doing now. He started his business. He's still working for Paso Tank, but he does side jobs on the end. I know eventually he wants to start his own business, which he's doing, but he's doing side work on weekends. You know, he's got that work drive too, but he's building clientele. He's showing his product. And like, you got all his buddies that are out buying wheels and tires and dirt bikes and stuff, and this kid's buying plasma tables and welders, and because he's looking for his, you know, what's in front of him and how to build his thing. So that's what I'm saying is your goals got to be set right. You know what I mean?
And it's crazy because we've talked about it, and whether Frank's girls pick up the brewery or something, it takes this amount of time to build this brand, build the business, pay for the equipment, and the next generation is going to be able to see the benefits. And you hope like hell, you know, for you guys, that they have the respect for where it came from, because the hard work is done.
What you put into it to see what you've done. Yes.
Yeah, it's a grind. It's not easy. Like, our people, we invest in the team. Like you said, we haven't had a raise since we've been here, and not that that's no one. By the way, no one cares. By the way, no one cares. The point is,
nobody cares.
You're putting that money, and you shouldn't expect them to
You're
care.
investing.
You're investing everything back into the people and the product that you have, and those people are going to make it.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the thing that I love about our business is we get a lot of positive feedback, you know, and I get it, whether it's from my grandma or from my parents or other people, you know, saying, hey, you know, you guys are doing great. Like, that's what you're shooting for. You know, you want to hear that. I mean, you're doing something right at that point. For all the hard work, you finally getting it. You know, I guess we're doing something right. You know, it's good to hear. It's positive feedback.
It's crazy because when you're in it, you don't see it all.
You don't see it from you're just doing your grind. You know,
dude,
and doing the best you can. And you're always gonna have haters. You're gonna have negative, but just gotta brush that off. But hearing the good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talking to the mic, Jake said. All right, we're almost done. Jake,
can
you got some notes on here. This guy killed it. We got to have him back. Dude, we might have a permanent guest on this thing. He's going to have to quit his job. Harms, we're hiring this guy, although we have no money, but we can offer him beer.
Shit, I still have a business to run, guys.
We told Derek. All right, Jake, what do we got? Coach us up. We're almost done. You told us to do some shout-outs. My cousin, by the way, Josh Runyon has been commenting on every one of our videos, so I love you, dude. That was Chance Witter back in the day. He was a rapper, and I know he hates when I say that, but he's on there. And he was ahead of his time, but comment on our stuff, send us messages, and we're gonna
stop sending your messages.
Send us messages.
You want me to
coach
stop?
us up.
You want me? So you want me to stop sending you messages?
No, this guy sends us. He listens and loves it. Yeah. What are you saying?
Subscribe. Jesus, I'm confused.
No, coach us up.
Like,
Jake, let's
comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. No, you got
only
anything.
thing I got off that
Let's
whiteboard.
feature listener, Robbie.
Like, comment, and subscribe. It helps. It gets the.
I'm a fucking winner.
I'm a goddamn
Dude,
winner.
Post a video. Robbie
It gets
always posts
It gets
videos.
the algorithm going.
Gets the algo.
This guy knows.
We're gonna do some giveaways for people who respond to us, right?
Zen toilet.
Send them a
pouches.
hat. Yeah. We got a whole ball of
Recycled.
them, like a baseball.
Okay.
What else? What else you got, Jake? Final note.
Okay,
Final
wait,
word.
Hold on. No, I got one
All
more
right,
question.
go ahead. Frankie's got it.
Appreciate you.
I
Cheers.
appreciate
Cheers,
you
dude.
guys, man. You guys are
Hey, we
amazing.
wouldn't be here
I
without you.
look
I'm
forward.
glad you're here.
I
Glad
look
we
forward.
met. Good friends.
I look forward to us three chilling on the beach with Velcro shoes.
I will put the Velcro shoes on if I can come over to your house.
Hold on.
Oh,
We need.
I might
need
have,
a rant
give me
from
a
you.
size. Give me a size.
Hey,
I might
we
have
need
them
a
at my house.
11 and a half.
Yeah,
We need a
11 and
Frank
half.
rant from you.
Bullshit.
What pisses you off?
Nothing pisses me off. I'm pretty.
Dude, you've heard the Frankie ones? What's
Nothing.
what's this guy's pet peeve at the end of the day?
My pet peeve is being late and not doing what you say you're gonna do.
Oh, do what you say.
I agree.
and
Talk
say
about
what
it, be
you
about it.
mean.
Or if
Yep.
you say you're gonna be somewhere and do something, be there.
Just do it.
And be on time.
There
All
you
right,
go.
You're not
and my
15
last
minutes early,
question.
you're late.
Last
My
question.
last question
Wait,
to you, and we will cut this.
And Frank, my other pet peeve is Frank telling everybody they have to wear Velcro shoes because it's time management. That kind of pisses me
Yeah,
off.
it did piss you off. I
It
posted
did
it.
make him angry.
Because-
Did we show the video? He
I
was so
posted
mad.
it. Yeah, it's on the world.
All right, fair enough. Who do you like better, Rich or me?
I like both of you. Both.
No,
both
bullshit.
of them.
You got to pick one.
No, I can't
right.
do that.
God.
That'd be like me trying to pick one which kid I like more.
Yeah, no, do it.
I always
No.
choose Martha.
I like this one.
There you go. All right, Robbie.
All right, Robbie,
Love
we
you.
I
love
love
you
you guys, dude.
Cheers.
Thanks for having me on. I don't know why you had me anyways, but cheers, guys. Ciao.